Do you know the deets about getting some sleep? Let's go on an adventure. Hello and welcome to Capricious Conversations. Thank you for joining me today. Just a quick reminder to keep your eyes peeled for a new Christmas or Hanukkah decoration that is on the set. Keep your list and comment on December 31st. If you get them all right, you will be entered to win a piece of amazing Chris merch. Now folks, it is the holiday season, and as we all know, during the holidays there are parties, there are festivities, there are gifts to buy, gifts to wrap, things to prepare, cookies to bake. We all have a lot going on. And you know, people like teachers, healthcare professionals, during this time of year you are just exhausted. So today we're going to talk a little bit about sleep, which most of us aren't getting. In general, as we've all heard, adults need about 7 to 9 hours a night of sleep. Most of us don't get that. There are people though who function like optimally well on as little as 6 hours of sleep. I think I'm probably one of those people because I usually only get about 5.5 to 6 hours of sleep. Or I could just not be sleeping enough, one of the two. There was one semester in college when I took like 20 credit hours and I got 4 hours of sleep a night for like 16 weeks. That was rough. Don't do that. I wouldn't suggest it. It can be done, but it's probably not healthy. Other people can't perform at they're not at their optimum level unless they've had like 10 hours of sleep a night. So you have to figure out what is best for your body and make sure that you are getting the precise amount of sleep that you need to function, because research has discovered that sleep deprivation will kill you more quickly than food deprivation. No kidding. You can keep yourself awake to death faster than you can starve to death. And that's probably because your brain is responsible for so much activity in your body. And when you sleep, you give it a chance to rest and recharge and address systems that are not getting enough attention during your waking hours. And when you don't sleep, you don't allow your brain to do that function. And so it can't. And so it gets really tired. It's like a muscle, right? So imagine that you lifted weights straight for 12 hours. Your muscles would be nothing. You would be done. Completely fried. It would take an awful lot to recover from something like that. Your brain is kind of the same, except for that it takes a lot longer to wear out that muscle. The record is 264 hours without sleep, and the dude didn't actually die. Other people have died with less sleep deprivation than that, just FYI. So, unless you want to stay yourself awake to death, make sure you're getting the proper amount of sleep. How you sleep is an interesting indicator of what your personality is. The study has actually discovered that the position that you sleep in can tell about your personality. 41% of people report sleeping in the fetal position, which scientists have said it's usually that you're have a tough exterior, but you're really just buttery soft on the inside. And that's 41% of people, and 51% of women polled said that they sleep in the fetal position. And it means that you're a sensitive soul, but you try and look tough. Apparently, people who adopted the starfish, which is the totally spread out on your back, tend to be good listeners, and people who don't like being the center of attention, which totally boggles my mind. I totally thought that would have been the opposite. Because it seems to me that a gregarious person would be I need the whole bed. But apparently it is not. It is shy people who sleep in the starfish position and take up the whole bed. The free faller, which is people who sleep on your tummy, which is, I move around so much in the night. I don't know what that says about my personality. But I tend to sleep on my tummy part of the night at least. They say they tend to have a brash and gregarious exterior. Although this confident front tends to hide a nervous personality who responds badly to criticism. I don't think that's necessarily me. Although I am very outgoing and quite gregarious. The soldier, which is the stuck still on your back, unsurprisingly tends to be a more reserved person. And the log, who is similar to the soldier but on your side, Actually, that indicates a social butterfly and someone who's really outgoing and who loves to be around people, which is crazy. I would have thought that would have been the starfish, but there you go. The study has shown that it is not. And there's one called the uriner, which is somebody who sleeps on your side but like reaching out for stuff. Tend to be suspicious and cynical people. And I have a feeling that their cynicism is why they're yearning. They're like, oh, I judge people so harshly, but I really want to be with people. So there you go. Take that for what it's worth and see if that talks about your sleeping personality. Again, I'm not sure what it says about mine because I sleep. Sometimes I sleep on my side, sometimes I sleep on my back, sometimes I sleep on my tummy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a lot of things. British researchers have developed a pair of glasses that can, in essence, kind of reset your body clock, your internal clock. And it's got a light that mimics sunlight, and so it can kind of trick your body into releasing serotonin, which is the chemical that wakes you up. And so they shine this light in your eyes, your body's like, oh, it's morning, let's release these chemicals that will wake us up. And it has actually helped people stay awake for like 36 hours plus with no side effects. How crazy is that? So I'm thinking that would be an amazing thing for people who suffer jet lag, right? When you're supposed to be awake, you just click it on, awake you are, and you know, maybe you wouldn't suffer any jet lag. That could be fun. I hope that they come out with that, you know, like on a broad thing for people who travel a lot. Incidentally, until that happens, my tried and true method for beating jet lag is just to stay awake for like 24 hours and then go to sleep at the bedtime of the place that you're going to. So like, you know, when I go to Poland, get on the plane, stay awake all night. When I arrive there, it's usually, I don't know, between 10 and 2 in the afternoon. Stay awake until 10:30 that night, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, no jet lag whatsoever. It's awesome. If you can power through it. Some people can't. So, you know, you do you. But apparently, science has shown that you only have to be awake for 17 hours straight to begin suffering effects of sleep deprivation. So staying up for 24 hours may not work for everybody. It worked for me. It may not work for you. Some people have reported the deficits are similar to having a blood alcohol level of 0.5%. So, or 0.05, not 0.5. That would be a lot. 0.05%. And finally, apparently, 12% of people dream completely in black and white. Now, the interesting thing is not necessarily that they dream in black and white, although that would be awesome, and I think it would be kind of like watching an old-timey movie in your dreams. That would be really cool. The interesting thing is a study that has shown that before the invention of color TV, only 15% of people reported dreaming in color. Weird, right? So, before color TV, only 15% of people dreamt in color. After color TV, only 12% of people dream in black and white. So apparently, watching TV and how you watch TV affects the way you dream. I would have thought that we always dreamt in color just because we see in color, but apparently that is not so. I wonder if they'd have done this study before TV was even invented, like with radio and things like that, if people still dreamt in black and white. I don't know. Interesting. Leave a comment below and tell me anything else you find interesting about sleep or sleep facts you need to know, and if you dream in black and white, because I really want to know that. If anybody out there dreams in black and white, let me know. That would be a cool thing. I want to have a conversation. Keep your eyes peeled for new Christmas decorations on the set. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and thank you for sharing this video with all your friends. Let's go on an adventure.